Hope goes hand in hand with trust, and I think these are two very important ingredients in thriving communities. I like working with heritage because it teaches us humbleness and hope. When you accompany something that's been there for centuries or millennia, despite the wars and the destruction and the plagues that happen throughout, you do have a sense of hope, that these places can survive despite the circumstances. It's been a while since I started working in Reșița. Actually, we're 10 years in 2026. And this town has an outstanding industrial heritage that I myself have discovered it across the years. And I've realized the immense shifts and blockages that this community faces, having experienced dramatic economic restructuring and massive layoffs. This is a distressed community. All this industrial heritage and industrial production was basically lost in the 90s and 2000s. And 10 years ago, Reșița was stranded in civic apathy and cynicism. Over summer, we've dedicated some of our activation events to the blast furnace site. It's an immense structure. I don't know if you've ever seen a blast furnace. It used to produce steel. Maybe some of the rails that you go with by train are produced there, or some of the locomotives or some car equipment components are produced there. But it's not just the object itself that was built in the 60s, but rather the fact that the site was there and produced steel since 1771 through different generations of blast furnaces. So this encompasses all the industrial revolutions that the humanity went through. And telling the story of the transformation of this site is what creates this sense of wonder and appreciation, also shared by the local communities and the youngsters part of it. Going through these actions that we organized, stop seeing this as a bunch of scrap metal and understand its intrinsic value as well as the symbolic value associated to it. How this was built by their grandparents, and it represented a true pioneering technology advancement of the country at that moment. How this basically contributed to the economic development of the region of the country. That was for real. Going through all these activities and feeding a new perspective on it, and having people from Reșița visit 2 industrial heritage sites in the Czech Republic and Poland, and seeing how can a blast furnace be open to a community, created this emulation and spark of hope. So at the end of the summer, we've seen a lot of people saying, oh, that's perfectly feasible here as well. We can do that. It's gonna be difficult and expensive, but we can do that also. I believe hope is contagious. So when you're down, I think it's important you go out of your room and of your house and of your town and meet people physically in the places and doing things that cultivate hope and cultivate a sense of action and fulfillment.